Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive videoscopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Hello, fabulous superstar Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of January 2021. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing month it is. It is a remarkable sky, and right out of the gate, as we begin a brand new month and a brand new year, we are still working with the energy of last month's full moon that we ended the year with. And that full moon took place in a part of the sky for you that is decidedly consequential. It has to do with understanding what stays and what goes. It has to do with your ability to be more profoundly and deeply honest with yourself, to align with your unique definition of power, and to understand more deeply the resources available to you, whether they are emotional, spiritual, or financial. It is, as we begin the month, as you are continuing to work with this energy, you may be very acutely aware of the wealth available to you. Now, as we navigate further, it is going to be on the 13th of the month that we will have this month's new moon. This new moon takes place in the sign just after yours, having to do with money you earn, money you spend. It is also connected to healthy self-esteem and healthy self-worth. Now, here's the thing. This is an intense new moon, without a doubt. It is happening hand in hand in the sky with Pluto. And it's also making a harmonious connection with Neptune. Now, I think that Neptunian energy is going to be a saving grace. It reminds us to have faith, because this can be a time when you are very determined to make changes, or you're becoming aware, very starkly so, that change is needed. This is one of those moments of having to be deeply honest with yourself. What's worth doing for money and what is no longer worth doing for money? What will you do and what won't you do? Where is it that you desire to empower yourself financially, to align with prosperity that is in a way and done in a way so that it honors a deeper journey? And it is this meeting that ultimately asks you to consider where money fits in, where spending fits in, so that you develop a healthy relationship with money, heal any money-related issues. But not every Sagittarian is going to experience this in the context of money. For some, it is going to highlight self-esteem and self-worth. It's going to bring into focus a genuine desire to heal whatever it is that keeps you from absolute self-love. And very often, it comes down to a decision, and it comes down to acceptance. It is Neptune that is going to affirm faith, and faith inherently holds acceptance within it. And so for some, I do think this is going to be a time of change. It is a new moon after all. Fresh beginnings are on offer here. And it is an opportunity for you to begin again in some way. And whether it is that you are changing entirely your pathway so that you align with a prosperity more meaningful to you, or whether it is you decide to do something in addition to what you do to create prosperity for yourself and to ensure that you can provide for yourself and to those to whom you are responsible, it is going to be this moment that invites you to consider what you could be doing. I would also say be mindful of spending at this time. It just looks like it can feel as if something is costing you a lot. Now, that could be financial, but of course that could be a particular situation costing you more than it's worth in other ways. It is ultimately a time to get honest with yourself, to decide what's worth focusing on, and where it is that forgiveness, surrender, and acceptance can go a very long way to healing and alignment with something better. As we navigate later into the month, it will be on the 28th that we will have this month's full moon. Now, this full moon is taking place in a decidedly worldly part of your sky. And this is a part of the sky that your sign has a natural affinity with. This is fellow fire sign Leo, in which this full moon is taking place. And in some way, a broader perspective and more of the world is opening up to you, or at least you're being invited to make a change, to change your relationship with ideas or the world around you. This full moon is going to be speaking in a conversation of tension with Uranus, and Uranus is slowly but surely moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life. This is the workplace and the work you do and the people who surround you there. It's also how well you take care of you that is highlighted here. This difficult alignment that Uranus is making to this full moon is going to invite you to consider how you are actually living and if it aligns with your higher values. Does it align with the philosophies that you have for your life? But ultimately, Uranus is an energy of surprise, and it may be that it is very quickly that you are invited to consider things differently, or you evoke a reaction on something that you express that does take you aback. And so the part of the sky being highlighted by this full moon has to do with long distance travel, immigration, citizenship, higher learning, legal matters, political matters. It has to do with the philosophical understanding you have of the world around you, how you relate to the world around you, the spiritual values that guide your relationship with the world. And Jupiter is standing across the sky from this full moon as well. So it's almost as if you can see something more optimistic. This full moon can represent surprising news along with action steps in one of these areas. And if it is that you are one of the few people who actually gets a chance to do some traveling right now, just know things may not go as you expect, perhaps not by a long shot. There may be a lot of twists and turns in the journey. However, it will stand out, perhaps for that very reason. If you are part of an institution of higher learning, perhaps as a student or professionally, well, this could be where it feels as if things are changing in a way that doesn't necessarily feel very stable. Anything from your own major to ending up in the right place for an exam to actually your role within these institutions if you work there. And these changes can come very dramatically, very quickly. If it is that you have an ongoing legal matter, well, it is this energy that can help things come to a conclusion very quickly. Even though the energy is erratic, there is still that sense with Jupiter in alignment with this full moon that there's something right about what is now coming to a close. Now, where it comes to matters of love, the first week of the month, we've still got Venus in your sign. What a beautiful energy to be hosting, because this ultimately says that you are deeply connected to possibility and love, especially right out of the gate of a brand new year. So this blessing will continue to be with you. Venus in your sign helps you to feel that much more as a magnet and helps you to feel as if there's not a whole lot you need to do to attract love into your life or to celebrate the love that you have. Once we move past a week into the month, that is when Venus will change signs and move into the same part of the sky that the new moon takes place in. And this is going to be important for a few reasons. On the one hand, this is going to connect self-love and romantic love, where you'll start to see a reflection taking place and you'll start to ask yourself deeper questions. It is in the middle of the month that we've got this lovely, surprising, delightful energy. But then as we navigate to the end of the month, that is when we have some intense energy playing out with Venus meeting Pluto. That is a moment of honesty as to where you are in love and why, and how your self-love may be reflecting a particular external situation. But there's another reason to pay attention to this, and that is at the end of the year. This is exactly where Venus is going to go retrograde. We are going to end the year and begin a brand new year on a Venus retrograde. And it is now that Venus is walking the pathway that she's going to eventually go retrograde over once we navigate to the end of the year. So pay attention to what is happening in your life. I did speak about some of these energies and more about this month in the year ahead horoscope and the Jupiter ahead horoscope as well. So I'll link to that in the description below. Having said that, where it comes to matters of love, and for those of you open to meeting someone new, I do feel like the middle of the month represents a real surprising moment, and you may connect with someone who invites you in some way to feel as if you can give. feel as if you can be generous. You just want to be mindful of your feelings along the way and what you're giving and making sure it balances out. Is there something actually here? Well, there's a real moment of truth coming towards the end of the month. At least at the beginning of the month, though, the energy is a lot lighter. And that is when you may find yourself not necessarily having to do so much or think so much to connect with someone in a meaningful way. For those of you who've just started to date someone, well, look, beginning of the month, lovely energy. Continue to enjoy it. It can feel quite sweet as you move through the world. However, it is once we navigate further, especially late in the month, where you may be asking yourself where you are in terms of how you see yourself and how you love yourself in relation to what brings you to this situation with this person. And it really can go one of two ways. Some of this energy is quite extreme. So for some, this is going to be the realization that perhaps greater self-love is needed for you to not be in this situation. But it can go the other way as well, where an experience with this person awakens you to how you could love yourself more because of the care that they are showing you. There's nothing halfway about this energy, and it is a moment of honesty that is needed that ultimately will align you one way or another with greater self-love. For those of you who are in an established bond, this can be a powerful time. On the one hand, we've got that beautiful energy right out of the gate. Relationships can feel especially sweeter and softer. But it is, once we navigate further and Venus changes signs, leaves your sign, it seems that you are in a generous mood, in a generous spirit with this person that you love. But what is the true cost and what is your true motivation? That's going to reveal itself to you through a moment of honesty as we navigate late into the month. No matter how much it is that you would like to give or you wish to give, there may be some limit that you do reach. And I'm not saying necessarily that you may not have it to give. However, sometimes some limits are not tangible. They are much more personal. And a moment of honesty to understand from which place within you are giving is going to illuminate something even deeper that ultimately does align you with greater self-love in the bigger picture. What I love about this month for you, well, look, there's so much here. I love how Venus is in your sign right out of the gate. I think that's a lovely way to start the new year, deeply connected to a spirit and an energy of love. But as we navigate further, your focus is going to change. You're going to come to look at value, everything from self-value and self-respect to the spiritual values that guide your life. And in many ways, it's going to feel like in an instant, perhaps a surprising instant, the world opens up to you. And it is this opening of the world that's going to invite you to contemplate your place within it differently and ultimately root it in a place that has self-love at the very foundation. Well, thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this every single week in the brand new Superstar space at nadiyashahsuperstars.com. Featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. You can get expanded exclusive videoscopes for each and every sign, each and every week, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I hope you'll check it out, and I look forward to meeting you there. It'll be a great month. Enjoy.